show.
I'll start it when I want to, damn it.
Oh my god.
Welcome to the Catch All Podcast, the water cooler for constantly calibrating, where we talk about our gaming experience and sometimes the news. Hi, I'm your host, Justin Stanley, along with a special returning guest. Used to be my co-host, Juice.
I am special. I'm Juice Silverman.
Juice?
Yes, I Juice. I do just a very, very good quality Juice.
And anybody new to the Catch-All, or people who watch the Catch-All, this is going to be a different show anyways. We're both still exhausted from 2 conventions in a row in a day of Disney. Like, I'm not complaining, but I'm complaining.
11 days of travel is a thing. I've discovered that. So I used to always get post-con blues, right? Mm-hmm. That thing where it's the day after the convention. I have a later flight, and I'm like, you know what? I really wish I had someone to hang out with. I'm posting to Twitter. I'm posting to Facebook. I'm reaching out to people. Is anyone still in town? Let's get lunch. Let's get breakfast. That's usually how I feel. That's usually how I feel post event, right? And a lot of times most people are gone and nobody's really interested and yada yada yada. And it puts me in a really down place. It literally was the day after PAX, day 11 or 12 of travel, and I was just like, I don't give a shit if anyone is around. I want to go home, and if you talk to me, I'm gonna punch you. Yep. Like, I'm not really, but like I was done after 11 days of travel. I had no post-con blues. I miss Slate. I miss Andrea in our chat. I miss a lot of different people that I met or hung out with a lot.
We submitted some old friendships along with making so many new ones. It was so great.
But like I missed people, but at the same time, I was done. I just wanted to be home.
Yeah, same. And then I wanted to be home, at least have a solid day of chill, like a day to recuperate. But I did not get that. Like I got a evening where I passed out. But then I had to go to work next day. My 7:30 to 4:30 job that usually doesn't end there.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to go home to, of course, starting off more of your work that you're doing, and not to mention
I was literally working from the hotel and the airport. I was sitting in the Westin lobby where only 6 hours earlier I had been drinking with people, and I was literally sitting on my phone getting trained how to use stuff.
Not only that,
and then writing press releases in the airport. It was fascinating.
Yeah, and then you had a sick family to take care of too.
Yep. I have not quite recovered rest. I will say though, my decision to start exercising for the 2 weeks prior to starting the DreamHack thing did benefit me, because while I was mentally, and I'm still mentally exhausted, physically I felt, and I still actually feel entirely fine. Nothing's sore, nothing's hurting. I'm coughing like a maniac because I talked for 11 straight days.
Yeah, but
I actually feel better than I've ever felt physically after.
I'll say it too. It's not because I exercised. Like, God, I wish I did. But it's more like a shout out to your wife taking me shoe shopping. Did help me at DreamHack at Disney, but definitely helped me during PAX. Those shoes made a difference. Oh my gosh.
No, yeah, your feet definitely survived. In part because of those shoes.
Yeah, but my legs aren't dead. My body's not dead. It's just my brain dead and tired, constantly. But we're not here to talk about
boom.
That. Yeah, we're here to talk about the games you played, and sometimes the news. Even though we're probably not getting into news at all. Oh God! So yeah, we went to DreamHack Anaheim and PAX East. Everything we're talking about is probably PAX East, because we only played 1 or 2 games at DreamHack Anaheim.
Yeah, I played a bunch of stuff, but honestly, if you're interested in that, the VOD is probably still up for DreamHack's indie stuff.
That's right.
Anything I played, I played live on a.
That's right.
Live on a stage.
You were talking about it as you were playing it. I don't think you want to rehash any of that here.
I don't remember enough of it. Again, it's been 11 days. My memory is stronger for PAX East. If you want my opinions on stuff, go look up DreamHack's indie games.
Well, the one game I want to give a shout out, because you dragged me to go see it. I forget the name of it though. This is that SWAT game.
That was. Oh shit! What was that? Tiger Lily was super into it. Good job with the shout out. I'll look it up.
Thank you. But yeah, I'll go ahead and start my day of PAXness. God, I packed it on. Early with the event. Got there. we used our media hour. I used that to beeline to Animal Crossing, mainly because I wanted the pin. I was confused where to get the pin to start off with, so I actually was in the line to play the demo, which, don't get me wrong, wanted to try, even though I'm not the biggest Animal Crossing fan, and regret that I did. But not because of the game itself, because I know what the game's going to be. Like, I don't need to play it to get my excited to play it a couple weeks from now. Just how they demoed it was really weird. Basically, there are 4 people to each station. There is 1 Nintendo rep and 3 other people playing with you, and they tried to do that. It did not work well.
I figured out the game you were looking for. I think it's called Ready or Not.
Ready or Not, yes. Awesome game. Because we play like a 2v2 on that one, right?
Yes.
Yes, and basically, like, it's very Siege-esque, but you can use a non-lethal force as well, and if you actually capture the people you're fighting against, you can like get bonuses, keep them out for longer. And the gunplay felt really good too. But yeah,
and the game was cool. I had a little trouble familiarizing myself with it, but just on paper, it was really cool, and it was one of the more well put together. A lot of stuff was well put together. I played a DreamHack Anaheim, but that was one of like 2 or 3 things that really stood out for me. But tell me more about the Animal Crossing demo, because I missed out on it because I went to get you coffee, thinking the line was going to take forever. And then, like, you were almost done playing by the time I got your coffee.
Pretty much. The thing is, there was more experience to that. The back end of the experience was good that I accidentally skipped because I didn't notice that, and I was hungry, and I wanted the pit. So, yeah, the demo itself was awkward. Like, the rep I had, I don't know if they're playing it down, but kind of knew what they were doing. Not really. And then, like, they want to do that thing, and the bell's like, who wants to take lead? And no one in my group wanted to take lead. I didn't want to take lead that early in the morning either, because I'm not the big Animal Crossing person. I don't know what to do. And, I mean, that's all we did. We just roamed around, chopped a tree. Our rep was, like, getting around everywhere, like dudes in bamboo stick, climbed a ladder. It's like, oh, yeah, y'all don't have any of that. I'm like, no, we don't. You want to try crafting? It's like, that's going to be a nightmare. So yeah, the demo, it did not demo well as far as that, like how they had it set. But if you were more, perspective than I was at the time, and everybody else pretty much was, they had this, like, their stage there, or their booth, was amazing. Like, it was
gorgeous.
Yeah, certain, like, biomes of the, I guess that's the way you call it, of the Animal Crossing map that's going to be in this one. And they had, like, a projection down to simulate moving water, which shout out to Nintendo for lining that. I would be frustrated. They would have to already know the layout, know the exact size, program that animation, aim it down, get the projector lined up perfectly, which for someone who works in IT and lines projectors is a bitch. And
oh, yeah.
They were doing that with like 3 or 4 different projectors hanging from top, and it looked beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But the other part is they had Kevin there, Isabel, Tom Nook. They would hang out with you, take pictures, and this is the part I missed.
Yeah, I didn't see any of this when I was over there.
But you see all the pictures from everybody else.
Oh, I do. I mean, I see plenty of pictures from the Animal Crossing thing, but yeah.
And the problem is, the thing that sucks for me, all of them were out at the same time at the beginning of the day. Because usually after the day, you might see 1 or 2, but everybody was out at the beginning. I could have got some pictures, Josh, even though I'm not big on pictures, even though I figured out how I'm going to handle pictures from now on. And I tested it. But, yeah, I missed the whole point. Don't worry about it, Josh. Don't. But yeah, that was it for Animal Crossing. I got outside, figured out what the Isabel pin was, got my Isabel pin, even though it's not for me, it's for a friend who actually has an Animal Crossing leaf tattooed on their body somewhere.
I mean, that's a good, it's a good thing you did.
Yeah.
I, however, did get a pin and kept it because I collect pins.
There you go. But from that, like, this is all within the media hour. I was able to shoot from that, met up with Josh, got my bagel and coffee, which Josh spilled all over himself, not his doing. Thank you, Josh.
I just spilled all over my hand a little bit. Just enough. Whatever.
It's enough, Josh.
Also, are we doing really an entire play-by-play? We're going to be here literally for the entire time that PAX East takes to go through.
I was going to do a play-by-play for my first hour, but that's about it.
That's fine. That's fine. It's your show, baby.
Well, then I played MANEATER.
I'm still real upset I did not get over to Maneater because I didn't think to go over there during the media hour because I really didn't have time to go over there at that point. And then it was just busy for the rest of the show.
Yeah, it is, pun intended, deeper than I thought it'd be in them waters. God, that was bad.
Awful. Absolutely fucking terrible.
But, like, it's pretty much Hulk Ultimate Destruction or Prototype or whatever, same developers. But imagine that type of action free roaming sandbox with RPG elements, but you're a shark.
Yep. I mean, that checks. That means what? That's what it looked like from the trailer we saw 2 E3s ago.
Abilities you have are really cool. And, like, how you quick travel, also cool. So, like, you do have, like, a sprint, as much as a sprint, swim faster, I guess. What do you call that? Underwater, but like if you go to the top and skim the water, where what do you call that? With your shark fin hanging out, that's like your faster travel. That's like your vehicle. Thank you for looking at this up and being as confused as I am. But on top of that, like a lot of cool moves, a lot of like you could jump out of the water, do flips, land on people, jump out, snatch somebody.
It's called
a
sprint.
A sprint.
It's still called a sprint.
Okay, we'll call it a sprint then. Like you can latch, like when people like are when you destroy their craft, they all panic and try to get on the beach. You could jump on the beach, eat them, slither back into the ocean. You could grab somebody and charge a tail whip and just launch them, or use them as a projectile, which is fantastic.
Yeah, sounds like it.
It's really cool. And then, like, as you do that, you get experience where you get to evolve your shark. But this part we didn't get to see too much because turns out, spoilers for Maneater, a game where you're a shark. Which actually is, like, this game actually has a deep story. Pun intended.
That was the part that surprised me.
It first surprised me. So, like, after you do most of the tutorial, you get a bunch of, like, poachers after you. You get one that pretty much is, like, dude has his own show that's kind of like any of those, like, ocean fishing shows or stuff like that. Except he's allowed to be a jerk ass. He catches a shark, which apparently ate one of he's hunting for a certain type of shark that took out one of his friends, but it's not you. It's not like he's going for that shark particularly. He just wants to kill that big of a shark. But puts the shark up, guts it, pulls out baby shark, do, and then he's like, I want to mark him so he knows, like, who it was. So, like, when he finds him later, he can figure out who it is. What he was looking for is, like, a megalodon shark. He was upset he didn't get that. So he gutted the mother, which you are in tutorial, pulled you out of your mother's belly, knifed you, scarred you for life so he could spot you later, and threw your ass back in the water. Now I know why this shark does not like humans.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's one of the most disturbing sound. Like, that's a Bambi-ass, like, opening you got
it was
there.
Worse. Like, imagine the hunter, like, gutted Bambi's mom and threw Bambi out of the womb. Yes.
You're right. That's worse than Bambi. I both am very interested in this game and also just want to unlearn this information about the game.
I know, man.
Not for spoiler reasons, because I'm just like, I don't need, just too much.
Like, I would like to, like, you know, mind erase you, just that part I just told you, and don't want you to live stream the game at that moment so I can see your face.
Yeah. It'd be me going like this. For those listening to the audio stream, I very badly impersonated my face, being shocked.
It is a shocked face. But right after that, like right on the other side of Maneater, was Chivalry II. I'm a big fan of Chivalry. If you're not familiar with what that is a medieval, actually it's first or third person, whichever view you prefer to play in, but a straight up combat game where it's kind of like Battlefield, but medieval times. You know what I'm saying? So bigger maps, a lot of people, and I was like looking for like one, I didn't know they were doing a Chivalry 2. Two, I was wondering what can be so different. And once I played, I figured it out really quick. Game definitely has a huge visual upgrade. It is more visceral than before. Parts fly off you, including helmets. Because first of all, like, you just hit the character, that's cool. They kind of go down. I think they can lose the limit the first one. I don't remember. But either way, it's like, this is a bloody, bloody battle. And the map we played, I don't know if it's going to be like this every map, was very... The way they work the spawns is where it encourages that mass conflict. Like you are going after each other right off the get-go. And the mode we play is kind of like trying to relate this to Battlefield because I forget the name of the mode, so it doesn't help. But basically, Group A is trying to break into Group B's area, and you hold the line as much as you can. When Group A breaks that, it gets pushed further back. They break that, gets further back, and there's finally like a end goal. That's kind of the mode we played. But yeah, it is a gruesome game. I love it for it. Like you see the cuts on them. When you knock off the helmet, you can see their face reactions. You can down people now, which is new. And when you're down, all you can do is crawl on one hand and throw a punch. Doesn't help. But a team member can now pick you up.
Okay.
But if that team member is not near and you knock that person down, you get the satisfaction of standing over him, getting that sword ready, putting that final plunge in. It is deeply satisfying, and I'm disturbed I'm satisfied by it. But it's just really cool. Like, I see why it is part 2. I can't wait for it. I believe the alpha is coming actually this month.
Oh, really?
Yes.
For some reason, I just feel like I haven't heard anything whatsoever about this, and I was very surprised. I'm like very surprised to hear how.
Me too. Like, I'm into the Chivalry, and I just completely like just went off my radar. I don't know if that was them doing it on purpose. I don't know if I just wasn't looking. Yes, the boat.
A little from column A, a little from column B.
Yeah, so it's a cool thing. I saw a light there. I had to get rid of it. Anyways, I enjoyed it. Like, I can't wait to play more of it. The combat feels roughly the same. There probably is a lot of like little details they've fixed to tweak, but you know, a demo where you're just jumping in and fighting like 32 on 32, you didn't really get to experience the minutia of it all. But yeah, played really well, ran really well. But of course, that is in land environment with set specs, so we'll see what the
see how it actually works in practice.
Yeah, we'll see what the open beta does. But yeah, that was all. Like, I managed to squeeze in my first media hour and a little bit launch it into the convention. Like, that's where I got some dents done. None of those were like planned or anything. Josh, what's something you played?
Something that I played. Let's have a look see here. I'm gonna go with Dangerous Driving 2. So actually, I didn't really do like, despite being their media hour, I don't think I played a single thing. Like my media hour time, which is mostly just talking to people, because that's what I tend to do during that time. Which in hindsight, kind of wish that I'd played a few things like Maneater, for instance. But no, I had an appointment to check out Dangerous Driving 2. And so last year I checked out Dangerous Driving 1, and I had a fun time with it. It's from a lot of the original people behind Burnout, who left EA and went to start their own thing. With the original Burnout, with the original Dangerous Driving, their intention was to create something akin to Burnout Paradise. But they were a small studio with a small budget, and they had to test their ideas and stuff. So they made a really cool, smaller map kind of thing, you know, akin to Burnout. With this new game too, they have now opened it up. I didn't get to see the full open world, but I did get to, because it's the game is planned for much later this year. But what I did get to play the game. With wider maps. They made the roads wider. They added more cars. The handling is better. Honestly, if you like Dangerous Driving 1, you'll like Dangerous Driving 2, is kind of how I feel about the whole thing. But it was fun. It was fun. It felt better. I felt like the first Dangerous Driving was almost too arcadey. Like, for lack of a better description, it felt like the cars floated too much. They didn't feel like there was a lot of weight. These cars felt like there was more weight to them.
Gotcha. And this one also shocked me too. That I mean, we knew a little bit about this a little ahead of time with the press release, but that there is a Dangerous Driver 2. Like, it feels like Dangerous Driver was released that long ago.
Well, it wasn't. No, again, it wasn't. It was released last year at around PAX East. So, like, they said that it sold well enough that they were able to move on to a second one. Is really what it kind of came down to. So, they did well enough, and they were able to make the second one. They were able to kind of go with their original vision. They had more money and more support now to do that. So, yeah, it's going for this more open world thing. Multiple players. I only played single player, but I watched Andrew Renee take on some people in 2-player mode. Where the game's at in development now, it's still it's still early. I can't remember if they said pre-alpha or alpha, but where it's at, like the hitboxes on the cars in traffic are a little too big. So like I was trying to skirt traffic the same way I would do in like Burnout or even Dangerous Driving 1, and even though I clearly should not have hit them, it would mark that off. They said it's something they're working on. What was really cool is I got to try a very early version of the game on Switch, and when I say early, I mean they literally got it working on Switch within like a few days prior to PAX East. So it's rough.
Oh, wow.
It was... Go ahead.
Yeah, so I imagine this is something they didn't really allow too much on the floor, but had a preview for appointments, or...
Nope, anyone was allowed to play it.
On the Switch?
Yeah, they had it in handheld mode. Anyone was allowed to play it. Okay. I don't think they were restricting people to God, I think I played on PC, but it may have been PS4. I can't remember.
I would say bold move, but I mean, I understand it. They wanted to show it's there.
They wanted to show it. They wanted to show because that was the biggest request of Dangerous Driving 1 was that it would be on the Switch. Uh-huh. So, anyways, it's got issues. It's got some. It's so fucking early. Like I harbor no negativity towards it. But what's cool is even with the technical hiccups, even with the issues, it still runs. It's still playable. It was still fun, even with it, being this version. So I'm very much. I didn't in the end pick up Dangerous Driving 1 because I was not able to cover it properly at the time. And I don't think I had money then when it came down to it. I don't forget exactly why, but 2 I'm probably gonna pick up because
I think
it hit my burnout itch.
I think 1 also just hit at a bad time in general. Like
yeah, I think so too.
Oh, it's Warlords. Sorry, I was looking up something. But yeah,
I'm trying to remind myself when it released. It released April of last year. Yeah, that was not a great time for me on gaming.
No. Unfortunately not. That's probably why I skipped over as well. Because I remember looking at it, be interested about it. Because I think Burnout 3 is one of my favorite ones, or specifically Takedown, I guess.
That's 3.
Yeah. So
yeah, Burnout Takedown is one of my favorite games of all time. I preferred Revenge, but Takedown was my favorite, and I very much liked Burnout Paradise. So, but it didn't hit exactly what I wanted. So I like what they're doing with Dangerous Driving 2. And yeah, it scratched my burnout itch in the 15 minutes I checked it out.
That's awesome, man.
I got another game to move on to if you got.
Oh yeah, I think we're just gonna go back and forth from here.
Oh, are we going? Oh, fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep these. These are gonna be shorter. Because these are actually shorter demos.
And I remember the game I played. Cool. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, well, I got to check out Stronghold Warlords, which I honestly didn't know they were doing another Stronghold. I liked Stronghold 2. I really like this thing. That's where it is. Like, you are building up this castle, this fortress, and defending against each other. Stronghold 3, I didn't get into that well. I think to try to branch out to be a little too much, a little too ambitious. And I might be wrong. I'm not the huge Stronghold advocate, but Stronghold Warlords feels like it's kind of taken back into roots, but also push it out at the same time in a better way. Think about more at least the map I played. Think of more Age of Empires type combat, where there are people around the map, but a smaller contained map, and there are meeting spots in the middle. There are also your main warlord, the one you're trying to take out, and then there's 2 on each side, being 2 on the enemy side, 2 on your side that you can win over with favors and stuff like that. And then once you get them, they can start producing specialized troops for you. If you get enough credits built up, you can actually send them to just straight up do an attack on the main base you're going after. So you're trying to build those relationships up while defending your place and also pushing forward an attack. It did have a timer on the one I'm playing. I'm not sure what other game modes you're going to have, but the mode I was playing is really cool. It's your goal is to bash through, get into the middle, and kill their warlord. And once I got a hang of it, it felt really good. So you're still, as far as the micromanagement goes, you don't have to pick villagers individually. It's just you go gather wood, you go do this. Like when you pick a building, if there's a villager in queue, if you have the population for it, they'll just automatically go do that thing once that building is built, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. So you're trying to balance, make sure you have enough materials, and you have to make sure you got enough huts so you get more villagers and more. You can have more soldiers as well, and then you want to build out your army. And while you're defending, you also want to have something that's basically good to attack as well. And I just really liked it. Like it was fast. The game looks really good, and it kind of captured what I like about Stronghold 2 while still pushing it out further. And the other part is the whole Warlords thing. It is, instead of going, medieval Europe, stuff like that, they're hitting more on the Asian side of things, where you'll have the Han Dynasty. They get to a little bit with samurais and stuff like that. So it's not accurate time-wise as far as I can tell, but chronologically. But basically it's just all these different Asian themed stuff, and that's where we're going with the Warlord part. So yeah, I liked it. Really cool. I can't wait to play some more. And now back to you, Josh.
Back to me. Okay. Yeah, so let's see here. I'm actually going to do two really quickly because one's just a quick thing. I checked the Disintegration again. We checked it at PAX West. This time, instead of giving us a little spiel, having one of the people from the studio give us a spiel, they just had I believe it's the founder or the CEO of the studio talk a little bit more about single player and the plans for the storyline. It sounded really interesting. Can't really get into specifics on that. But yeah, the game was fun. It's rare these days that I'm still interested in a competitive first-person shooter, but what they're doing with the game appeals to me, and I like the whole riding a bike thing and having your troops and kind of mentality.
Yeah, and I remember you're on a bike riding around while also commanding. Every player has their kind of commander figure on the bike who can also fight pretty competently, but you also have 2 support units. Attached?
2 or 3, yeah. So I actually forgot to use my support units. I honestly didn't see that listed anywhere. I was more concerned with the fact that my machine had no sound. But despite no sound, I probably did better at that game than I've done in almost any other game. I think I made it almost the entire match without dying a single time, but still racking up kills because I figured, because the team I chose had 2 weapons. One weapon was a stun kind of. Well, it doesn't actually stun. I think it wiped out their shields. Kind of thing. It was an ion attack kind of thing. And then just a quick burst SMG. And I just figured out how to use that. And I was just having a blast, just flying around. What I like about the game is it's not just left and right flying. You're going up, down, left, right, strafing, back, forward. There's a lot of it's a lot to wrap your brain around, particularly for such a short demo experience.
Yeah, I remember playing this at PAX West. We got on that demo, and I enjoyed it there. I wanted to see more of it. I did delve into the Raccoon Conspiracy. I know what it is now, and it's not my place to say.
Good. It's good to know. Good to know.
They had 2 raccoons in the booth that I spotted, but I couldn't see anymore. Do you think they had 3?
I only saw 1 actually during my session.
The other one's right across from it.
Okay, well, I wasn't looking that clearly.
I was. That's all. I was concerned with raccoons, man.
I want to talk about. Let's see. I want to talk about a game we both played.
Awesome. Yes.
Fall Guys.
Yes. Fall Guys.
So I got to play Fall Guys at E3 last year, and it was early. I've talked about it at the time. It was a lot of fun. It was what's it called? Takeshi's Castle, I believe, and MXC. Am I getting the names right?
Yes.
Okay, so Japanese game show kind of games where it's kind of parkour-y, people getting knocked down, stuff like that. Based on those kind of games,
it's Ultimate Ninja Warrior, but you're also going against 100 or 99 other people.
Yep, exactly. And so we were playing. What was it? I think it was 4 on each side, so 8 people total, and then a bunch of bots essentially.
Yeah.
But it was fun. There was a bunch of modes. The first one was you had to crash through less and less as you went, but start off 8 to 10 walls that you could crash through, but only a couple of them actually would let you crash through them. And then it got less and less with less options to break through. So it's not always who's being first; it's who's being more strategic who can get through.
Yeah, that too. Because if you're the one that bursts through, you're also kind of like stop while people can run over you. But yeah, you also had to pay attention to the lights at the top because those let you know which ones can be going through, which ones can't, and they do switch.
Exactly. And then you got to remember the fact that everyone can run, everyone can jump, but everyone can also grab. So people could actually grab you and like mess with you and things like that.
But, by the way, shout out to them showing like indie love. Every single like character on the map was like named after something indie, it being a game, a character.
Well, specifically Devolver Digital stuff.
Yes.
So yeah, every character was named after different things. So there was Greece, there was a Hotline, there was Miami, there was a bunch of other ones I can't remember right now.
Hatful, which happened to be a pigeon.
Yeah. There was Hatful, and then there was also Fork and Parker. And yeah, now there's customization in the game. The version I played at E3 had no customization. That I remember at least. Next game mode was one that was also at E3, which was
to kind of go on in between game modes, like after each game mode, like a certain amount gets eliminated. If you're not above that area, then you drop from that. Then you become a spectator.
Yeah, so it's everyone who completed the first match gets through, but within the time limit. Then the next one is there's a certain amount of tails that are already pinned on people. And you, as long as you have a tail at the end of the timer, you make it to the next round. If you don't have a tail, you don't. And which was a cool one. I really like that one a lot, though it does turn into a lot of just running around in circles.
Dude, I strategically stayed near hammers.
Hammers were a good idea because a lot of people were trying to avoid the hammers, but the strategy of the hammers, so the hammers are spinning around doing this whole thing, and some of them are smaller and kind of knock you down. Other ones hit you and fucking wallop you, launch you. So I'd always stay near the big hammers, and if anyone came near me, I would run into them, and it would just launch me to the other side of the map. Now, yes, it did leave you stunned for a second, so maybe it screws me over in the end, but at least it solved the immediate problem.
Yeah, I was like using the little hammers going up the ramp, like because I figured out how to get around them really well. So I was like just sitting around those, moving around in a circle, wait for them to do it. If they're coming at me, then I moved into the big hammer because they can't grab my tail when they're knocked out too. At least was my strategy, and it worked mostly.
Yeah, most of the strategies.
I mean,
worked.
I had a tail by the end of it, so it clearly worked. Also,
true.
I got to preface this that like how they had their booth set up, like they did have people displayed on different screens, but my station was on the big screen, so I had a crowd going. It's great.
It's great because something happened to you later, which we're going to get into. But
yeah, we are.
They added a new game mode next, which was capturing eggs. And in this mode, we all got split into teams.
Yeah.
There were 3 different teams. Gold eggs were worth, like, I believe 5 points. Normal eggs were worth 1. We all had goals. And then, yeah, the whole idea was to try to get as many eggs into your goal. Whichever team, the top 2 teams survived. The bottom team did not make it through. And what was really fun is all they tell you is to just get the eggs from the middle and bring them to your goal. What we all kind of discovered was, I can just run into other people's goals and just steal their eggs too.
Which there was doing near the back half of that.
That was me the entire back half as well, because both of our teams ended up, I think, doing really well initially. And then it was just like, okay, now we're just going to start stealing eggs to try to stay on top, and it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun trying to rip eggs out of people's hands.
Sadly,
and stuff.
some of the people we're playing with didn't get it, so like I was fighting my own team for a golden egg. I got the point. Just take it, because you're fighting me for it. But then at the end, I started getting the strategy of, I know where there's a bunch of them. I'm going to take them from the other team. They'll put in my goal. And also I was playing like to make sure they're actually in my area, because some people just drop them in the first step. But I think they had to be like in that bright area to count.
They actually had to be in the physical goal.
Yeah,
is how I interpreted it.
I was sweeping and stealing golden eggs from other people.
No, it was a good strategy. That mode is good. I like that new mode. I'm curious if there's more modes. I forgot to ask if they were going to be adding more modes at launch. But then finally was the final one, which is the one where after we've now all been teamed up, we're all separated, and it is literally a obstacle course. Which is more after, again, like that MXC kind of stuff, those classic kind of Japanese shows.
Yeah, there's like literally a crown on the top of this place, and it's not just being the first to get there, but I believe the crown actually starts to move, shrink, expand. So you have to like jump.
It does a bunch of different stuff. You have to time your jump, and then you also have to grab it. You can't just jump into it. Neither one of us came close to it. I
was on there, dude. Oh my god.
I had so much trouble. But you had an experience.
So I was tricking people. This is not the bad quality game. Like, it's an early build. Things happen. They understand. They felt really bad because it was on the big screen. But also, like, I was doing really well. Like, I was pretty much ahead of the pack. And also, I got stuck between. Is one of the things that were spinning around between that and the land and the obstacles or something like that, and it clipped me through the map and started me at the very damn bottom. The guy gave me a crown out of pity. It's like, well, you would have won, so here you go.
I mean, that honestly,
you got a good I've never seen that before. Like, well, man, write that one down. But other than that, I mean, the game played really well. It was really fun. I could definitely see myself streaming this easily.
Well, that's the thing, is the game has so much potential for streaming, because it's not just streaming, it's also commentary. There's so many layers of it that you could really do for streaming and content creation. And I think
like, it's just the fact, like, it's a game that could have 100 people playing at once. And you don't really have to worry about, like, filtering that out. You just open a game, let people jump in, they can play with you. You don't have to worry about these one-on-one, like, let me jump in your, like, 4-man group stuff. It's just everybody come in and play.
It's a really cool take on the battle royale genre that's competitive, but in a fun way. It's not like aggressively competitive. It's like jovial competitive.
It's not, and something like all the family could enjoy, because you're not, like, shooting each other with guns.
No, it was a lot of fun. It reminds me of a lot of my favorite parts about Human Fall Flat, but expanded and not quite as. I
think it's like one of the first ones I've seen that, like, are really thinking outside the box with a free for all thing, with the exception of Tetris 99, because that was way out the box.
That's out of several boxes, but
even
still,
though it's about something blocks in a box, but
this is something that still follows the formula, but is outside the box on that formula.
Yes, very much so. So with that, I hope it does well. It's fun. I want it to live.
I think later this year, if I remember right.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. But yeah, that was really
planned.
Cool. So I didn't get to see the Baldur's Gate like panel, but I did get to. They actually had a booth on the floor, which looked amazing.
Giant castle.
Pretty much giant castle with a Mind Flayer on the outside, the Mind Flayer ship at the top. It has a name, but I don't remember that much. So, but basically we got they were doing live demos within there. I didn't say through the whole thing because we got to run to a panel with one of our friends, Finn, and so I had to duck out a little early. But from my experience, it's the next Divinity pretty much, but with the Wizard of the Coast license. And more so Baldur's to carry on the legacy of Baldur's Gate. So I mean by it is like Baldur's Gate was more kind of like not live action, but like active combat. When Divinity does do like when you get into combat, it goes turn based. You get action points and stuff like that. It's still that. But there are like action rolls for certain things, being in conversations, things that happen in your fight, where it actually does pick. The dodeca pops up and rolls. So it's leaning more. Well, I mean, not that Divinity wasn't, but this one's like more heavily, like D&D is there. But yeah, from what I gathered, it's pretty much the next Divinity, and that's not a bad thing at all. There's so many different paths that you could take. Like, if anything I'm saying, you just go pull up. I imagine it was in that presentation. That's the thing. I didn't know this thing would have been an hour long. I wouldn't have hopped into it that time. But yeah, it's just really cool, beautiful, great voice acting. Looks like there's a ton of branches off that you could do too. You could pretty much kill characters that end up whole part of that game for you. Yeah, it's neat. I'm ready for it. I want to play it. Like, it got me in the mood that I want to play Divinity 2 again. But like actually like digging deep.
That's my one question about it. My only question is how do you feel about the fact that they're going with more of a Divinity style combat versus, because Baldur Gate was more action. This is more.
I was hoping to be more action because that's actually what pulled me out of Divinity, because I just wasn't expecting that. It's not that bad. That is great. Somebody cheered when they said it's turn based in our room. I understand there's people that love that. It'd be kind of interesting if they try to go for both, but I know that'd be hard to do. The way they
I don't know how they'd pull that off.
Yeah, exactly. Grand Fallout, kind of, maybe not really. But the way they demonstrated, I liked what I saw. The way I saw, like, oh, this is how you properly play this turn-based combat. where they're like moving an archer further away while putting someone else to block and like building up traps and stuff like that. And you could definitely like water on the ground. You got lightning, shock that water, it electrifies the whole thing. Or I don't know. It's just I kind of want to play it now. I want to give Divinity 2 another chance. And yeah, it turn-based kind of turned me off the first time, but I'm like really intrigued right now. I was like looking up how much it costs on the Switch, and it's all still $50. I'm like, I don't need it right now. So I might play it on PC later. We'll see.
I mean, I have now not played it in a little bit, but I was switching off between PC and Switch quite a bit. And yeah, no, I love it. I just, God, I don't know how, but I just burnt myself out on it instantaneously.
Yeah. I burnt myself out too. Another thing that burnt me out is because I was playing with 3 other friends that are kind of as scatterbrained as I am. So sure. That was rough trying to get stuff lined up.
I think if I was just like you and me playing, I would, or even me with another person, period, playing with like a set time. This is when we're playing it. I think I could enjoy Divinity more.
Same. Also, if I had more time where I actually discovered like all the game mechanics before jumping with a bunch of friends, that was a mistake.
That was the mistake you and I made with the first Divinity Original Sin, where we had no idea of the game mechanics. We decided to stream it without any knowledge.
Yeah. So after this, like we both had appointments in the same area. You got to check out because I want you to pronounce this.
Oh, you want me to go to this one next? I was saving this for later, but I could do this one.
Oh,
so this is actually no, it's good. No, that's fine. This is actually one of my favorite games of the event, but I did not get to play it, and I'm gonna butcher the name. I'm so sorry. The Dungeon of Naheulbeuk is, I believe, how to say it. Naheulbeuk. That's what it sounds like in my head, and sadly, I didn't write out a phonetic thing.
It's French.
It's French. So yeah, no, but it's a game based on a French IP, and the IP that is known in comics and sort of other mediums.
Yeah.
So they're adapting it for a game with using the main characters and stuff. It's a tactical RPG, which I am learning as I get older is actually becoming my favorite genre of games.
They're really fun.
It's funny. I hated them when I was younger. I refused to play like so many different games when I was younger because I don't want to do that. It's too slow. I like running around hitting things, but now that I'm older, it's like, you know what? I don't mind if a battle takes 2 hours and I have to pause it 3 times to go like do other things, like whatever. Like that's actually fine by me. It allows me to do other things and to not. Also, it's easier to take a break from a tactical RPG and come back to it than it is because all this stuff is spelled out on screen for you. You know, like it's like, oh, I don't remember what this move does. You highlight it. It's not like, you know, stopping when you stop playing a traditional RPG or a turn-based RPG, and it's like I don't remember how to walk, kind of thing. So the game is broken into like exploration and story. What's really cool is the environments are still like animated, but they're like very almost realistic in how they're animated. In the animation style. Meanwhile, the characters are super fucking cartoony. But you might think, like, on paper, that sounds like that's awful, but it actually looks great. I think it visually was one of my favorite games. Like, the way the characters played against the backgrounds was just really beautiful. Also, some of the best animations I have seen in a game in a very long time. Facial expressions
and just the overall body animations were gorgeous.
Again, it's a tactical RPG, so, you know, think about this. You're choosing to be zoomed out a little bit, zoomed in a little bit, but no matter where you are, like the characters, when they're talking or when they're doing stuff, when they have moves, their faces change. Most of the stuff is very similar to most tactical RPGs. One feature that I've not personally experienced is when you place someone. So, you know, think XCOM or something like that. You know, you place someone in the cover or something like that. You place them in the middle of a room. You can actually choose what direction they're facing of the 8 axis. So, you know, corners, up, down, like you could choose exactly what direction you want them to face, which does determine things like attack of opportunity, or making sure you're facing the right direction to hit a move, or if you can see someone. Like, all those kind of things are determined by the direction you choose to face. I thought that was another nice, interesting layer on the combat. Otherwise, combat's pretty similar to what you would expect from more like an XCOM style game. It was fun. The storyline, oh my god, it's some of the funniest fucking dialogue. The voice acting's great. I believe Felicia Day plays a character in the game.
Yes, she was actually,
for those interested in that.
She does, and she was actually at the booth a little bit earlier playing it.
That's what I heard, yeah. But yeah, but the dialogue is great. The voice acting that I heard was great. I saw a couple of later levels, which were still done in French because the game is still a little bit away.
Yeah, I had a dude watching it beside me who's actually into the lore this is based on, and he was actually just excited seeing the just nods to everything in that lore, which I can't comment on because I know nothing about it. But the fact that they're paying that much attention to everything is just beautiful.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I am super excited. I went in. Oh, so summer 2020 is the estimated release date.
Gotcha.
I just had to look it up. I was super interested. I get it was an appointment that was offered to us, and I'm like, all right, a tactical RPG. This looks kind of cool. Yeah, okay, I'll go see it, kind of thing. But within 10 minutes of my appointment, I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking buying this. This is my jam. I am loving everything about it. I believe they said estimated roughly about 40 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if that was 40 hours is the average, or it was 40 hours to do everything. I think it was somewhere around 40 hours for average amount of playtime to completionists.
Gotcha.
Was about there. But I'm all about this game, and I very much want to play.
And while you're checking out that I was checking out Recompile, which really cool game. It has this very Tron-like aspect to it. Quite literally, the place you are is the mainframe, and you are a program. But definitely visual turn on that. Unfortunately, I didn't have sound for this either, which I imagine it has some slapping wub up in it, but unfortunately you get to hear
slapping wub up.
But this game is a 3D Metroidvania. Actually I had it pulled up. Semi-sentient program escaped a solution atmosphere. Yeah, Metroidvania inspired hacking adventure set in a sprawling 3D world of the mainframe. It's third person, so it's not just above isometric. It is as in Metroidvania, there are certain parts you can't access until you get a certain ability. And when I play it, it's just really cool. I definitely want to play some more of it. And take a look at it. By the way, everything that we're mentioning, most of it's on Steam. Wishlist it if that interests you, because that does help them out a lot too.
Okay. Definitely make sure any of the games we're talking about, if they sound interesting to you and they're on Steam, go wishlist them. Wishlisting is, now that I'm on this PR side of things, essentially the way wishlisting works is if games get a certain level of wishlisting by their release date, then they have a chance of being put on the slider bar on Steam. That's how big games get on that slider bar. So that's why people always tell you to wishlist things.
Just pre-orders in the days of old, the physical gauges interest. So this wishlist.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So it's always a good idea. If you like something, just take a moment to go drop it on your wish list.
And while you're doing that, drop us a 5-star review on iTunes. Okay, Josh, next.
All right, next for me. Let's see. I want to rapid fire a couple of these. I want to talk about the all-in games ones.
Mm-hmm.
So all-in games, I went to see a couple of games. Fascinatingly enough, I did not see. I only saw one of the two games I had an appointment for. I think we just ended up in a weird situation where some things got whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it actually worked out for the better. While I didn't get to see one of the games I was really interested in, I did get to see two I had no interest in, and now I do. So we're going to talk about those two really quickly, and then the third game that I was interested in. So All In Games went over to their booth. I checked out Metamorphosis. Metamorphosis is a game, puzzle kind of based game where you start off as a human and you are walking around and it's a very basic puzzle. It says find the key. You open a drawer. There's the key. You open the door. You go through. And as you're walking through, the world starts changing very subtly. You notice the hallway starts getting a little bit bigger. And then the pictures start doing this little thing where they start changing the bugs. You get through the next room and suddenly you're back in literally the exact same room, but a little more disheveled. But suddenly you're too small to reach the desk. So you have to use your environment to climb back up onto that desk, which you're now on top of, and you get the key. And then you have to go climb up onto something to get through the lock. So you walk down the hall again, and again, everything starts changing shape. And this is when the game makes it very clear you've turned into a bug. You've metamorphosized into a bug. And the point of the game is you're doing service for, I believe, something called the Tower, so that they will turn you back into a human. And that's the entire game. A story is delivered through conversations with other bugs who work for this group. And puzzles as well are you two options for puzzle. You're giving information through text, but then also you learn stuff about the world by clicking tab, which gives you a zoomed out thing. It tells you where your objective is and also shows you the path you've currently been on. But it turned into, the rooms get smaller or bigger and bigger. You get smaller and smaller to the point that you're now walking down a rocking chair and trying to actually navigate your way down it. And I would have never checked out the game because puzzle games like this are not my style. And now I am super fucking interested in this game. I played through a good portion of the demo before I moved on to my next game, and I had a lot of fun with it. I'm wanting to play more.
I just logged into something. It's one of our PR things that ask, "Hey, are you going to this event?" It's like, "Hey, are you going to GDC?" I'm like, "Nobody is."
Yeah, some people are still sending out those emails because they have their automated stuff and they have checked. And check your emails, people, because there might be an E3 at this point. But okay, so that's Metamorphosis. Next game from All In Games I checked out was Fort Triumph. So you might remember if you've watched previous coverage, PAX West. I want to say 2017. I'm going to take a shot in the dark. I'm not sure. I believe it was 2017. I checked out this game. It was early, but the idea is, again, an XCOM style game, but except it's fantasy characters. Elves, dwarves, wizards, rangers, stuff like that. And that's kind of what it still is, except now you also are in an environment where you are building up forts and towns that you take over to do things. You earn money to do that. You're also exploring on a major map, and you could find random events, and you can find chests to get more money or to get skills or to get items. You're getting items and equipping them to your characters. All of your characters will level up, but you're also taking them into the field for classic, kind of tactical RPG stuff. But the environments are also kind of destructible. So one of my characters had the ability to throw a wind funnel, a tornado, and I threw that at a rock face that these I believe it was goblins were hiding behind, and it knocked the rock face down and instantly killed that character.
Okay.
Another time I did that, and it just kind of pinned them. So playing with the environment, partially destructible environment, moving stuff around and stuff, it feels good. The game originally was kind of cool, but honestly, it fell off my radar. Where they're at now, I really like it, and I think it's really interesting, and I'm really excited to see what they also do with the story. And if I remember right, that is getting very close to release, but I don't remember exactly when. But still, as someone who's getting into tactical RPGs, I very much want to check that out.
Yeah, that sounds pretty awesome, man.
It actually was a lot of fun. And then the final game, which is you walked up while I was playing this, was It Came From Space and 8 Hour Brains. Twin stick shooter. Mm-hmm. These pink aliens are invading. And you and up to a total of 4 people, twin stick shooter action, take them down. There's a story mode, but we were just playing the survival mode. And you come across power-ups that are getting dropped down by a police helicopter thing, and they're anywhere from a shield to the way you use them is almost Mario Kart-esque, that you keep them on hand and you can't pick up anything else until you use them. But there's more money, there's shields, there's health that recharges the health of everyone around you by 1 point. There's something that instantly gives you a top of the line upgradable weapon for a limited amount of ammo.
Okay.
But you have multiple different weapons, from pistols, the shotguns, the SMGs to, I believe it was a laser pistol kind of thing. And as you get money, it tells you how much you can upgrade those weapons. You first have to buy them, then you can upgrade them. Whatever weapon you have equipped, you can just hit X and it instantaneously upgrades it if you have enough money. So you don't have to go into, if you just like the shotgun like I did, you never have to go into the menu and then find the thing, and then you just hit a button and you just upgrade your weapon as long as you got the cash.
That's cool.
It was a lot of fun. At first, it was super fucking easy, and I was kind of like, "Oh, I'm running late. I'm gonna run late to an appointment. I feel like I'm gonna have to throw this match because I'm just kind of because we're just good at this." And then it got to the end, and there was like 60 plus pink guys coming for us in every direction, and it made my heart race.
60 plus pink guys. That's a...
Yep. And these pink guys come in like fast modes and tiny modes and big modes, and then there were like these giant tank ass motherfuckers that were they were just eating shotgun blasts. And when there was like one of them, it's like, okay, this isn't too difficult. And then there were like 6 of them and like another 40 fucking guys. It felt like, I don't know. It felt like I was in a goddamn horror movie and I was getting swarmed. The graphics are amazing.
Awesome.
I couldn't really hear the music, but I was told it's all custom music made for the game. And for what little I could hear, it was totally my shit.
Yeah.
Good.
No, yeah. If this is about this, go ahead.
Yeah, it's about this. So yeah, that wraps up all in games. Also, I want to say, I don't know if it was Evolve PR who made us our appointment and did PR for them, or if it was All In who chose this. Whoever made the decision to give out socks as your swag, I want to marry you.
Yeah, by the
way,
way,
can we convince everyone to give out socks, please? Socks are the best swag I've ever got.
This wasn't just like one sock, too. There were individual for each game.
Every game. Speaking of which,
if by the way. But
if there are more socks available for all in games that of the games I did not play, please send them to my house. I didn't think I felt greedy taking more, but I actually now want more because they're very comfy.
So while you're doing that, actually, I got thrown on demo as well. Good old friend, like, hey, you want to try something? Like, sure. And I'm glad he threw me on this. I would went right over it. Red Wings. Really?
Yeah, I want to hear about that because that was one of the games I so the other game I requested but I didn't get to play was Alatoth, but I want to hear more about Red Wings.
Yeah, Red Wings is it's an old school arcade dogfighting game, kind of like in the World War One-ish era. It's just really cool. It's like it's going to be on all systems, but it's heavily focused for the Switch. It does have couch co-op, as I was playing split screen with one of the developers.
Awesome.
We're playing a mode where just waves are coming. We had a certain amount of time to like beat that. As far as the demo link, though, which we did because they're awesome. But it's cool. So you get to pick your plane. It has its own attributes. You also get to pick abilities for said plane. So you can actually make some different loadouts, which could be a barrel roll, and the barrel roll just not get you out of trouble. You can actually use that to smack another plane beside you. It's neat. And when you like build up people, if you get like 5 kills, you get this like instant kill when they're like half health, where your pilot pretty much just pulls out a pistol and shoots the other pilot. It's cool stuff. But like heavily on the Switch. Well, one, I don't think I have seen an arcade like dogfighting shooter in a while. I mean, I know some of the more
it's been a long ass time, I feel like.
I know the games out there that are simulation you can kind of like put arcade rules on, but it still doesn't have the same feel. This one like feels good. It reminds you of playing like Rogue Squadron. It reminds you of playing X-Wing, or one that also got referred to a lot is what's that game on Xbox?
I can see it, but I can't remember it.
You said it too.
I don't remember. I don't know.
They had 2 of them. It was really good. But that.
But that. I like it. But that.
It's going to come to me at the end of this podcast.
Sure.
But yeah.
I mean, yeah, as expected.
I don't think Wings is in the title. I'm not sure. But then I said Pilot Wings. That's definitely not right. Anyways, it's neat. As far as like stuff being super focused on the Switch, they actually said it where like you could play just on one Joy-Con. So like you could pop your Switch down, has one Joy-Con, you get your Joy-Con, y'all play together, and it'll probably be hard on the small screen. And they also made it where like they added motion controls, or they're still working on this part, where you could use the Joy-Con as a like a flight stick and kind of like mimic those motions to control your plane. It was super fun. I enjoyed everything I was playing of it. I didn't get to hear that much of the sound, but same thing. It was like, this is like an open floor demo on a TV. But what I played, I enjoyed, and like I'm actually looking forward to this thing. I also got socks.
Yeah, no, it also got. It definitely looks cool. I haven't played a dog fighting. I used to be obsessed with them when I was a kid, but I haven't played them for frickin' ever. But everything I've heard from other people as well, game sounds interesting.
Okay, so I'm going to stop and ask you, Josh, how much time do you have? Because that's going to make me decide how we're going to go through the rest of these.
Ideally for the show, 15 to 20 minutes tops.
Cool. Go ahead and talk about your next thing.
All right. Next thing. Let's see. I am gonna go with. Let's go to the Yacht Club game stuff. That's one of the two things I still want to make sure I get through. So, went and check that Yacht Club games lineup of things, and I got to check out Shovel Knight Dig, which you checked out it at West.
Yes,
and it's honest. I mean, I don't know what more I could add to that. It's what's the Steam game name of the Steam game? Whatever. For the Switch where you're digging and stuff like that. The Steam World Dig.
Yeah, Steam World Dig. Yeah,
it's like that same kind of mentality, except with Shovel Knight.
That and a little bit of Spelunky. Sean Velasco says Spelunky a lot.
Yeah, true. It was definitely a mixture of both. Definitely had vibes of both of them. But yeah, so you're playing as the quintessential Shovel Knight, and you jump into a hole, and you get to dig around the environment, picking up gems and stuff like that. Meanwhile, there is something digging down the whole time. If it catches up to you, you are killed. There are secrets you can find and different paths to kind of explore. In the full game, there will be like different levels and stuff you could transition through. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I was not good at it, but it was a really enjoyable experience. And look, I mean, straight up, let's just preface this. I mean, we're kind of in the middle of this right now, but let's preface this with, if it's Shovel Knight, I will buy it.
If it's Yacht Club, I will buy it.
Actually, that's a fair point too. I will play / buy stuff if it's Yacht Club.
Which,
I will play / buy.
Steam World Dig does have a story. It is canon to the Shovel Knight overarch.
I did not realize. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Wait, you said you mean Shovel Knight Dig?
Yes, and I did
really
not say anything
there.
else. There's no proof of it.
Yeah, it's a canonical story and stuff like that. So I'm very much excited to see what that is, because I am that person who, I love the Shovel Knight world and story, and I want more of it. I want to play more. Game looks gorgeous, and I can't wait to see more what they do with it. And then was just announced right before the show, Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeons, which I checked that as well, and yeah, like
this looks super cool.
It's gonna be the bane of me. If I don't remember if they said it's coming to mobile. I assume it is.
I would hope.
You would imagine, like, I'll play it on Switch too, but if it comes to mobile, this game is gonna be the bane of me. It's just like, moving Shovel Knight around, and I think they said other characters as well. I want to say they said, but yeah, you're matching stuff and you're taking down things and you're just trying to stay alive, and the way it heals and like the way the quote unquote combat works. I could see myself sinking an unnecessary amount of time into the game.
Wasn't it like the stuff you match, they all have abilities and drops? So like you knock this out, you'll get some health, and I forget what the other ones did. And
there are potions, and then to start you off, there are potions which heal you. The more you take down, the more you match up with potions. When they're like touching each other, the more health you regenerate. There's like, things that
you get to hit them, but you also take a hit back.
And then anything that has 1 point of hit point of damage, 1 point hit point, you take that immediately. But if it has more than 1 hit point, then you'll take a hit point, and they'll also take a hit point until you always hit first. So there's a lot of that. But then it's not just like hitting people. Gold armors appear in like the second stage, and they actually do what gold armors do in the game. When you hit them in the back, they block you, and they hit them at the top, they block you, and they hit you in front, block you. So you actually have to move around, which that was what kept killing me, because I had to three-dimensionally think about taking out the gold armors that were touching the other gold armors to take out more gold armors. Meanwhile, there were other enemies, and I had to make sure they healed. Honestly, the game was a shit ton of fun, and I cannot wait for more. Both those Shovel Knight games, I believe, are 2021 is the current estimate.
Yeah, and if I remember, like the movement, at least to me, looked like kind of like Cryptid and Echo Dancer, like, or at least the pace one where like they don't move till you move.
Could not tell. I was so frantically moving that honestly, I could not tell you if that's the case.
Gotcha.
I was very. I couldn't stop moving for some reason. I was in panic mode when I was playing it, so I honestly did not take that information in.
Okay.
If that was the case, but they also Sean Velasco alluded to the fact that there's one other game that we already know about, but that there's another game in development that they are not going to be talking about till possibly PAX West. Do not know if it's Shovel Knight related, but if it's anything, but I do not know, because I really don't. I was surprised they were still doing Shovel Knighty things, publishing as it was. So just the idea that it could be more Shovel Knight makes me very happy.
Yeah, and I love Sean so much when he demos because he's so excited about everything they're building. He is so excited to play the games he made and to show you them.
Absolutely.
He wants to get through everything. He also showed us, I forget the name of the ninja game, but it is Ninja Gaiden as fuck. Old school Ninja Gaiden. But yeah, that's like, was it Shadow something?
It's Cyber Shadow.
Cyber Shadow. There we go. Really cool.
I was so bad at this that I had to have you take over the demo.
Yeah, it is like old school Ninja Gaiden Shinobi inspired. Very much so.
Very much so.
It's really cool. It's really neat. It has nothing to do with Shovel Knight other than Yacht Club's doing it.
Well, no, it's just it's so the 3 games we just talked about none of them are developed by Yacht Club. They're all published by Yacht Club.
Published by Yacht Club.
So they gave the license for Shovel Knight for the first 2 games we discussed to developers to do. Actually, with the Kids of Pocket Dungeons, they found the developer developing a game, liked it, and then gave them the license to put over it.
Okay.
Is I believe what Sean said. So yeah, no, very excited. So yeah, so they're publishing stuff, and their next developed game is allegedly may get announced somewhere around PAX West.
I'm excited, dude. I love Yacht Club published stuff.
I love their published stuff. I love their developed stuff. On it, they're one of those brands that if they're doing it, I'm interested.
Yep.
And then if it's Shovel Knight, then it gets extra points of interest.
Yeah, good stuff.
What do you got next?
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to quick fire 2 games that you didn't play, but I did, and then we'll tackle 2 things that we did both get to play or experience together.
Okay, and then I have one more game I want to discuss in there, and then that's it for.
Gotcha. Okay.
For my.
So, Gigabeast, I got to check out. By the way, there's also like a retro wrestling game that I was very excited to look at, which I think is literally called retro wrestling, which is like an old school WWE arcade or WWF arcade or Super Nintendo era type game. And they somehow have like the wrestlers that seem to retain their licenses, like the Road Warriors and all that, are in the game.
Okay.
But moving on, Gigabeast.
That was surprising, yeah. But go ahead, Gigabeast.
Like if you play, I think it's War of Monsters on PS2. It's a game where you're these big, massive like monsters that come destroy stuff, but you're fighting each other. And I got a lot of Power Stone vibes from this thing, which makes me super happy. So I think it might drop up more, but we're playing like 4 monsters drop in. Y'all start fighting. You get strong hits, your dash hits, light hits, yada yada. You can grab another monster, throw them. But as you're fighting, like this energy drops, you grab a ball, you pretty much Gigantamax yourself. Where at this, well, I want to say like you grab buildings and throw them, and when you Gigantamax, you can grab other players and throw them, and also do more damage. And but you can also, you're still kind of vulnerable at the same time too, because everyone can gang in on you. Really, like I knocked out a guy that was like blown up. But just real quick shout out. Gigabeast, really cool. I'm keeping an eye on it. Looks beautiful, by the way, too.
Awesome.
Next thing I played, I was kind of confused by, but super intrigued. Cloudpunk.
I want to hear more about this because this was the game like our buddy John from Super Deluxe Games Cast. He was talking about how much the game surprised him, how much he enjoyed it. So I want to hear more about Cloudpunk.
I think I don't know if I enjoyed it, but I'm intrigued by it. So
I like games like that.
Yeah, this exactly. It definitely seems more like an experience game. So setting is cyberpunk, Blade Runner, Fifth Element type stuff. Like you're flying these hover cars around this like populated city. Which, by the way, there's one on PSC and PS4, which I also know is going to be on Switch as well and other platforms. But you could definitely tell PC is the better one right now. Like draw distance is better, more vehicles on the screen. It was just running better. Definitely. I played on the PS4 version though. So you drive around, you're getting deliveries. Like you're this kind of like underground courier. Because like you had your problems, but now you got this kind of fake identity. Female protagonist, by the way, which is awesome. And basically you're the person that like you don't ask questions. You take it. You pick it up from point A, you deliver to point B, you're not supposed to ask questions. You know, this person, she's just super curious. She kind of wants to ask questions if they ask her. You know, it's like, do you want to know what's in the box? It's like, what's in the box? That type of stuff. You know, she knows not supposed to. Anyways, like, the story-wise, like, I was getting a little more intrigued with that part, but the gameplay is, like, literally you fly around, you get to, like, park your car at these landing pads, walk around to the person you got to pick it up from, experience the story there, get it, pick it up, get to the next part. And that's what I mostly got to experience so far. Wasn't a great demo on floor because the thing is long as all get out as far as I could tell. and it only had like 3 stations open. Just not good when you're trying to get a lot of people to play your game. But actually, Evolve is representing this as well. I'm going to read from one of their things, developed by Ion Lance, publisher Merg Games, but Evolve I think has handled the PR. Clapbox story-based exploration game where you meet diverse range of characters, including androids, AI, unscrupulous humans at level of society. Everyone in Cloudpunk has a story, and in the course of one night in Navalis, everything will change. So I'm not sure is there more gameplay mechanics, more that goes into this game, but from what I've seen so far, I am intrigued. I definitely want to try it out. It's not like super action-y, if that's what you're looking for, unless it turns into that, which I kind of doubt it does. Tags for this game's like adventure, atmospheric, cyberpunk, exploration, indie, open world, sci-fi. So yeah, I want to know more about this game is the thing. So I'm probably going to like do a deep dive on this soon and kind of like get more into it, add it to my watching list. There we go. But yeah, super cool. Okay, you said there's something else you wanted to throw in on, right?
Yeah, so one of the last games I want to talk about before we do our games we both played is Ambition, a Minuet in Power. So games are very early. A lot of what I very early. This, I think, so pretty much my favorite 2 games of the show were Fall Guys and the Dungeon of Naheulbeuk. If Ambition, Minuet in Power was further along, this would have been my favorite game of the show. Oh. That's not a knock against it, to be clear. It's just where the game is in development. I can see this becoming a game I'm really into. So it is a visual novel, but with a roguelike element. Okay. So you come to the city. You're invited to France. You've been living in the countryside, and you are invited. You are engaged to a lord. He invites you to the city, to France. You are supposed to be met by him, and he's not there. So you. Then essentially part of the game is trying to find out where he is. And essentially, I believe my understanding of the game is then you can, I don't know if you actually find him or not, but there are other suitors. Also, the Lord has a reputation. And the whole game is there are stats like peril. There's stats like reputation and stats like novelty because you are in this, I believe 1800s era France, 1800s era, it's like Marie Antoinette, France. So if you've ever seen movies like that, where you can't wear the same dress to a party twice. And that's the whole thing is you're socializing at parties. Okay. There's only so many people you could talk to, but you only have so much money and you have to buy dresses. All the dresses have stats. So some parties are more appropriate for a modest look. Some are more for a more risque look. Some are more formal. Some are less formal. So you have to like vibe out like what the parties are going to be like beforehand to be able to buy stuff. I played a good half hour of the game and essentially the demo was just never ending. It was just what's available for the game. There wasn't a set amount of time. I could have just fucking sat there and played this game. And there was some broken stuff. Like there was some stuff where like text dialogue boxes didn't appear in the correct places. Their checks didn't happen correctly, things like that. I'm all about this game. I love visual novels and there was some game like Your Majesty or something like that. This old like Pretty Princess game, the Charlotte I used to always play and compare stats. This reminds me a lot of that. And but like a different take, and like the game is again roguelike, so it's different as every time you do stuff. There's different directions you can go. It doesn't play out the same way, kind of thing. All I know is I was all about this fucking game, and I loved. My favorite thing about them was the music aspect because at one point in the game you leave a party. And you have to choose which carriage you want to get into. It describes the carriages, and then when you click on the thing, it tells you a little more about the person who may be inside it. One of the carriages looks like it's a priest, isn't it? One looks like a soldier's in it, and another one looks, I forget what the other one is. But every time you click on the prompt and the thing, and it says, hey, do you want to choose this option? It changes the music, and the music is like telling you, it's like cluing you in a little bit to what choice is going to be. So the military one was a little bit stronger music. The priest was a little like, different music. And then there was a more looser music. Honestly, again, all about this shit. This is my jam and I want to play more of it.
Awesome, dude. I'm intrigued about that too. That's an interesting take for a game.
Exactly. Like what I've been saying ever since Boyfriend Dungeon appeared on the visual novel scene, not that it's out, but like when it started appearing, Kid Fox started talking about stuff. I even talked to them. I'm like, I really like the idea that visual novels are going to become, and visual novels and dating games, like both, like as their own kind of thing, are going to become more than just what they are. So, you know, like Boyfriend Dungeon is a visual novel combined with a dungeon crawler. Ambition, Minuet, and Power is a visual novel combined with a roguelike. So, and by the way, I always get roguelite and roguelike mixed up. So my apologies if I'm saying the wrong one.
Yeah.
But like it's that aspect. So I like the idea visual novels are evolving to be more things. It's kind of like how Fall Guys is taking the battle royale formula, but turning it into something else. I like that these seemingly simplistic genres are growing into their own subgenres and multi-genres.
Not only that, there are like bleeding into other games. Some games have been doing it for a while, like Persona games, but the fact like you see kind of like tastes of that in Fire Emblem, which is also something else has been kind of laying there too, where you're trying to like develop a relationship as you're playing the game with certain characters. So yeah, I do like that aspect too, even though like the visual novel's not quite my jam. But I do like aspects of it. God, I was obsessed with Fire Emblem 3. Houses.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, I was like Fire Emblem houses. It's 4 houses now.
You're right. Oh, did that drop already?
Yeah. I think it's been out for a little bit now.
Okay, I gotta go download it. Actually, I need to get a bigger card. Like, it hit the point where I'm like, I don't want to delete anything, and I have too much room on micro SD. That's beside the point. Anyways, so a couple things we got to see. We got to see behind closed doors ish live demo of Psychonauts 2,
which was cool. I'm just gonna preface this by, I would have rather not seen this. Because it just turned out to be them playing through the first about 15 minutes of the game.
Yeah, if I
knew that. Which was great. But I probably personally, if I realized if I was going hands-on, I would have been fine with that. But watching someone else play, I didn't need to see it. That game is coming out not that far from now. Yeah, I've waited 6 fucking years. I could wait more.
But it did kind of like as we know, they love this game. They're putting love in this game. But it did confirm like they definitely are carrying on Psychonauts as it should be. They are mixing that humor within the gameplay, the story, just the whole craziness of jumping into people's minds and what it could do in there. So like, yeah, Psychonauts, it's going to be Psychonauts, and that is great. Yep. Some people are going to hate it. I like it, but I like that the Rhombus Ruin story actually is a thing like that. You might miss a little part. Like this is the part that sucks because like you have to have PSVR to experience this. I wish they released it on PC as well, but imagine licensing deals and stuff.
There's a licensing deal. There's got to be something in place that's stopping it. I mean, honestly, just go watch it on YouTube. That's what I'm going to end up doing since I never got around to getting a PSVR. That's ultimately what I'm going to do. But like the way the game launched, honestly, they give you enough information at the beginning of the game that at least we saw that actually clued me into what happens in Rhombus of Ruin.
Yeah, like it does. Enough. Totally does.
It's definitely plays with the you'll know more if you played Rhombus of Ruin, but if you didn't, then we're going to give you enough information that you're not lost.
Exactly.
But this still takes place essentially. Rhombus of Ruin is immediately after Psychonauts 1. This is immediately after Rhombus of Ruin.
Yes.
So for all intents and purposes, this is within a couple of days or less of the end of Psychonauts 1, which is so weird because I've now not played that game in like 12 years, which I really need to get another play.
Two, actually. And here's the next thing that just took us both for a rock. I think everybody, because like you can never count out Harmonix Studios ever. Like you always think they're down and out, but then they smack you with an elaborate stage and a unique game that you would think it's not your thing until you play it.
Well, that's the thing. So if you had asked me, like, I mean, I'm friends with people from Harmonix. Yeah. I mean, no disrespect with this, but with how Drop Mix like did not do the best. I wouldn't say fail by any means, but it really did not do the best. And it was going on these steep ass sales and stuff like that. And we just have not heard anything really from Harmonix in forever. I really assumed Harmonix was on its way out. And then the day before PAX East, this game Fuser gets announced. And then you walk on the show floor and it has one of the biggest fucking booths.
I think it is the biggest fucking booth almost.
I think Animal Crossing may have been bigger, but Fuser was probably next largest.
Yeah, like as far as like a solid booth. I mean, Square, if you count it, yes, but they're like two separate things.
Yeah, they had two separate areas and stuff like that for two separate like things. But no, Fuser was massive, and it wasn't just massive; it was a live show the entire weekend.
Yeah, live DJ, but live DJ through the game.
Yeah, so let's describe how the game works then.
Yes.
So you can use Rock Band and Guitar Hero as your starting point mentally for how this game works, but essentially using a controller DJ, and you have 4 different decks or turntables.
Yeah, to be clear, this is kind of like simulating a DJ experience, but it is not DJ Hero.
No, this is not DJ Hero. This is a more simplified version, but I would say a better version of what DJ Hero tried. Like, it's simplified.
This is a bad.
I felt DJ Hero was unnecessarily complicated.
Yeah, this is a bad comparison, even though I think it's a good comparison because a lot of people didn't play it. But like, this is like, God, what do they call it? The Rock Band for PSP.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Shit, let me look it up.
But yeah, like, if like this is for me, this is Fuser is akin to
Unplugged.
Yeah, DJ Hero's Rock Band Unplugged was to just Rock Band. Very feels like it's made for a handheld. Which shout out.
There's Troy. Troy in our chat from Harmonix is saying Rock Band Unplugged. You sly person.
Sly. And our boy Troy right there. We love him. But yeah, it just hit me out of left field, dude. Like, I did not expect to enjoy this as much as I did. Sorry, we're still explaining what the game is.
Sure.
So yeah,
and doing a bad job, I might add, of it.
Very bad job. So you are simulating like being a DJ, but you got 4. You can pull
color-coded decks.
You have 4 decks. You can pull 4 aspects from a song. You can pull all down if you want to and just place that song, or you can pull out like the bass from one, the vocals from the other, the piano from the other one, and kind of mix and match them to make your own beats. But you kind of have to do it at a rhythm to make it sound right to hype up the crowd. And
you get more points essentially if you do it on the beat.
Yes, and on top of that, it's like people's like, I don't know music. I don't know what to drop in, pop out. Like, the audience will actually like pop up at the right to kind of like give you objectives to do throughout it. Like, hey, I want something from the 80s to hit. I want something hip hop. You're like, I don't know what that is. Actually, all the music is labeled like, this is rock. It's from the 90s. Here you go.
See, I didn't realize anything was labeled properly, so if it was from a year thing that I didn't recognize, there's a thing that later in the tutorial you're given where essentially what it does is it just mixes things up. It's like the drop the beat kind of like moment kind of thing, and it just essentially what it does is it shuffles everything. If I didn't know what something was, I just hit the shuffle button, and 9 out of 10 times the game would actually get it correct for what the request was. So it worked out fine, but like. It was great. And then like later on, so you initially start where it's based on the button. So you have green, red, blue, and yellow. But later on, it gives you the point that like you can actually click and hold a deck, and you can actually have like 2 different vocal tracks going, or 3 different vocal tracks, or 4 different vocal tracks, or you could have multiple different blues. You could have multiple different reds. You could like pull different pieces down and like make your own thing. You're not like just required to have the colors. So you can really create your own like little mixes and stuff like that. And I'm not a necessarily musically minded person. I have an appreciation of music, kind of thing, but I'm literally standing there. I got put on a station and I was standing there and I'm just like, I'm starting to get I got fucking into it, and I'm like almost dancing while I'm playing this game.
I was super into it too. Is that Troy like got me started on it? Like, he kind of like bitches like the controls, don't worry, they're intuitive. Go for it.
That was literally almost verbatim what he said to me.
It is like at first you're kind of confused, but then you get it, and by the end of it, you're like, oh, I know how to play this game. I was like zoned in until the fireworks went off on the stage. They had pyrotechnics in the convention center, which is freaking awesome. Like, that booth was just, oh man, it was slapping left and right, man.
That was a cool fucking booth.
But yeah, Fuser, it is freaking awesome. I am so happy it's gonna be on the Switch as well. God, it's like, you tried this game. If you're a fan of any of the games, you're gonna enjoy it. Harmonix, there's some mixed wizards over there. Everything sounds great when you're pulling out like aspects of each song and all that to drop down on the tracks. Like, and it just mixes really well, sounds really good. I don't know how they do it so well. I mean, it's essentially it. I guess as DJs do it too, but much simplified. But I don't know. Looks great, sounds great, plays great. I'm into it. This is something I could definitely like see myself just pick up, play like one round, or like just sitting there just jam for a while. Which again, for Switch, perfect. But also be on the other platforms as well.
Question for you.
Yes.
How many stars did you get?
I hate you, Josh. 4 and almost filled up half of the 5th.
I got 5 stars with time to spare, and I was told by the person next to me that she could have been blowing smoke on my ass, but she claimed that I got 5 stars. I was the first person of the last day of the event to do that, and that I got it faster than most people did. So
you shuffle bitch.
Yeah, I'm a shuffle bitch. It worked. How dare you? It was effective.
They're literally blowing smoke up my ass from the pyrotechnics, but
no, but like Fuser,
everybody I know that got hands-on with it are just like ecstatic. And all those same people, some of those same people are like, what the fuck is this? Had no interest, and they had their appointment and they just rave about it. Like it is, whew.
So let me put it this way. While Fuser was not my game of show, I already said what my big game of show. Fuser is the game that I most want after the show, to the point that Troy, if you're still in chat, feel free. I can come out to Boston and I can hide in your luggage. Take me into work with you so I could see more of it, because I really fucking want this game.
Actually,
I had a great time with it, and I want to see like there was a very limited music selection, so I want to see what more music's added to it. Obviously, it has a potential for more. I'm really curious how they're going to add more music to the game and things of that nature. Because it was a good time, and I made an idiot out of myself dancing.
Same. Actually, I will say, out the stuff I played, there's a lot of awesome things on the show. There's a lot of things that we know that are down there that are awesome. That we already know the game, so we didn't play. But I would say, out the stuff I play, it is my game of show. It's just
awesome.
It's the same thing like when I tried Sayonara Wild Hearts. Wow, that butchered that sound.
Wow, that was English.
Sayonara Wild Hearts. I was in a particular mood. I had the headphones on, and I just zoned out to that game. And I was kind of doing that with Fuser as well. And I just
definitely took me away.
Yeah, it's a game that you could totally just like. And I mean, if you don't do well, that's fine. It's fine, as long as you're having a good time. Every time I see Fuser, but yeah, it is really nice. When it comes, like, I'm just buying this thing, man. I can't wait. Man, I think that covers most of our packs, doesn't it?
I mean, you have literally. I think you only have 2 other things on your list that you didn't get to. Otherwise, I covered everything of mine.
I gotta forget. Gloomwood. I like Gloomwood.
I just thought you were maybe purposely skipping it.
No. Buy New Blood. I think I literally wrote my name in my notes. It's an Ochri ass game. I did. No, I wrote it's Osh as fuck. Those are my words.
Osh as fuck. Okay.
It's really cool. Basically, if you're a fan, like
I gotta just read this in chat. Hunter in chat is just trying to slight Dave, which I support. Honestly, we support slighting Dave as well at Constant Calibrating. But
yes,
we actually had an appointment, and Justin actually had nice things to say. So I actually want to hear more about it.
If you're a fan of just like the older Thieves, the good Thieves, that's pretty much what this game is. But it also has that like feeling of an old school shooter like a Quake or something like that too, as far as the visuals and how it moves. It's just really cool, man. It does something that New Blood does really well. They take these old game mechanics that kind of the core mechanics age well, but something about it does it. But like New Blood just kind of just makes it work and just makes it feel great and somehow still updated for feeling wise for like a modern gaming. It's just cool, man. That's all I can say about it. You're like backstabbing, you're hiding in the shadows. You get kind of like choose how you want to handle the crowds by either just sneaking by them, trying to get stealth kills off them, which is basically like you got a sword, cane, smack up, stab them. Or you just go in there, if you got guns, just start go blazing, even though you're our limited ammo. I do love how the ammo works. I love anything that pays attention to ammo like that. Like for a revolver, you actually load each individual bullets while you're firing. You don't have a counter, but you can actually hold the reload button to like pop it out to see how many you got left to pop it back in. Same thing with the shotgun they got in the game, and the shotgun feels good. It's cool. Like, I want to play this. A shame do not have Dusk or the other one. Well, sorry for today. But I do want to play him. I just never got around to him because stuff's always coming on. But yeah, I definitely want to get into this. I was looking at Maximum Action as well. And Dave's like, just hit me up later. Which I commented that game for having a nice ass drop kick, but I didn't get to play it. So the other thing is, God, I got to do it too. I don't think how much we mentioned it last time. We tried it at a convention, but Infernax, I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. But Infernax is really cool. It is a game that is showing appreciation that should be shown for like Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest and Zelda 2. Jared Petty needs to play this game because he appreciates both of those as they are.
Indeed.
But this game combines like the goodness of all that. And it's just a good game to play and a good feeling game and a hard ass game to play too. It's fun. Like, do it. Like, my goal is to get this friend Jared Petty so I can get him talking about it. Because he really needs to. He will, like, blah. And, yeah, I just want to give a quick shout out to them, even though I didn't play them, but saw them a lot there. Visited the booth a lot. Thank you for the cough drops. That's not why I'm shouting you out, but...
Hunter's actually saying, I think total we had 6 people beat the demo all weekend.
Damn.
That's honestly impressive and also horrifying, but, like, in a good way.
Yeah, and speaking of horrifying, too, like, just the mood of the game is, like, this dark, gritty, medieval... Souls-ish, but like as far as like it's gruesome. Like when you die, it's gruesome. Like the screen goes all red, but you see the little spurts come out, and depending on how you die, like getting hit by a javelin, getting thrown against the wall, or head smashed in, it's nice and bloody. I like it.
Well, I think that's great, and I'm actually super fucking excited for the game. Because it's not like I never really played the games it's inspired by. But I did like get to play Infernax at West, I want to say.
It's West, yeah.
Yeah, and I had a blast with it despite not knowing a fucking clue what I was doing. But actually Hunter has a good point here. It's hard, but it's hard but fair though.
Yes.
No one felt like they lost to bullshit. And that's the thing, is like that's what I felt about it. Even though like I lost, I was like, cool, I want to try again.
Exactly.
That was how I felt about it. So
that's why those are the type of difficult games I like.
Yep. I like games where I feel like, maybe I could do something different or I could learn from this experience. I don't like games where it's like, I guess I just have to hope the RNG gods allow my roll to let me get past the thing and yada, yada, yada. Ugh, I'm not interested in that. I like games that I actually feel like I can do better.
Exactly. Like when I die, I know what I did and I know what I could do to improve on that.
Exactly. I gotta say, Justin, I'm impressed. This is the first time we've ever done a PAX wrap up that we only went mostly overtime instead of completely overtime, and we actually hit all of our thing.
We did. Damn.
Yeah, so like this felt good. Though I am being texted a lot about why I'm late for dinner.
Okay, so we're gonna wrap this up, but I'm also gonna say again, any games that you heard that you're interested in, check them out. I think most of these are on Steam. If they're at another
vast majority,
if they're on another platform, hit the wish list, hit the whatever it does, because I'm not sure it does on Epic if they're on there. And I think you could kind of like watch on Xbox or other, like if you're on the consoles too. Do that. Like it helps them. It helps them get in front of the crowd, and also will keep you updated on what's coming out. Am I going to throw up a recommendation list? This is my recommendation list.
Yes, I actually with the posting on YouTube, and I was actually thinking about this while we were doing the show. I'm probably with the link. I'm going to make a thread starting with the link to this episode, and then I'm going to thread down my way a little like 240 character or less recommendations for stuff So I'll probably do. I don't think this episode's going to come out the usual Thursday. It'll probably come out Friday. So on Friday, I'll be featuring all that.
Gotcha. And with that, I'm going to say thank you all for joining us this week. Catch Up Gaming Podcast is live every Wednesday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, except today, right here on mixer.com/ConCalPod. We're on Facebook at facebook.com/CounselingCalibrating, Twitter at ConCalPod. I'm Justin at Justin_Glorious on Twitter.
One of these days you'll get your own damn Twitter name correctly.
I will when I get rid of the damn underscore. Check Instagram at Instagram.com/CounselingCalibrating. Sorry, that is Josh at Bear Punch. I don't have it written down, so I totally forgot it.
Well, because I'm your guest. I'm not part of the traditional outro.
And I'm not used to that.
Hi, I'm Josh Silverman, the guest for this episode. You can find me on Twitter at Bear Punch. I work for Stride PR and also do a bunch of other things. And yeah. Hi.
Come chat with us on Discord at CounselingCalibrating.com/Discord. Watch us on YouTube at YouTube.com/ConCalPod. This part's added. Stay up to date as we continue on this Viking funeral that is constantly calibrating. This trail
next week's the last week.
It is. What's going to happen to catch y'all as far as that goes? So like, it is continuing. How it's going to continue? Like, what I'm going to say at this part, I do not know yet. Also, what channel it's going to be on.
I mean, we already discussed that.
Okay, we got that. Y'all know.
Everything old YouTube is just going to stay on youtube.com/concalpod because it's just,
if you're,
I guess we might re-upload it. None of them actually have the high views. We might re-upload the side, but at the very least, everything will go over to a new YouTube channel for Bear Punch Media.
Yeah, but like all the podcasts should still be on the same feed. Mixer is just, we're going to change the name. So if you're already here, there you go.
If you're here, your family.
We might pop up on a different streaming platform at the same time. We'll see. So more people who want to experience this do not have to make a Mixer account. For some reason, they forget they already have a Microsoft account. Anyways, drop us a review. Huh?
Blarp.
Yeah. Drop us a review on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe wherever you're listening, in at least one place you are not. All this helps us look fancy and gets us review codes and hugs and into events. And with that, razzle dazzle wub wub till we catch you next time with a sign off delight.